Okay, for this next tutorial, you're going to have to create, the next assignment actually, you're going to have to create some of the standardly used layers, alright? And if you go over to the Home button, Home, right next to Insert, you're going to find a thing here that says different layer properties, make a layer current, match, all of these different things. Alright, we're just going to click here. And that actually brings up the layer control panel. Now the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to call this one Guides. Oh, cannot be renamed. Well, you know. Alright, so I'm going to create a new layer. There's a little button here up at the top. There's a little shiny new, create new layer. Or you can go all in. And I'm going to call this one Guides. Alright. I'm going to create another layer. And I'm going to call that layer Object. Great. I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to call this layer Dimensions. I'm going to create another layer. And I'm going to call that layer Hidden. Those are going to be for hidden lines. And then for the last one, I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to call it Text. Now you find these layers are all. Now what are we using layers for? Well, the beauty of the layers is you can shut off things on different layers, all right, so that they have different functions, all right. So in other words, I can change the layers so that they have different lines. I do this or different other things. I can also lock the layers so I don't wind up editing by accident. All right. You may notice also this little light bulb. I can turn things and turn things off and on, okay, which is kind of nice. So I can either see the guides or not see the guides. Okay, so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to make a guide layer. I'm going to make that a pale blue. And I'm going to make the object, I'm going to go with yellow, nice bright yellow. Actually, no, I'm going to go with a darker green. Okay, the dimensions, I'm going to go with, let's say, go with purple. The hidden text, what's hidden is going to be yellow, okay? So it'll look like it's being sent through. And then text, I'm going to make text. I'm going to make text a kind of dark blue. Okay? So those are the different layers. Now the choices, we have different choices. My suggestion is that you use a continuous line for the object. Alright? Hidden lines can be changed to something else. Alright? So let's load some line types. And I think I'm going to make it a dash line. Okay? And I'm going to load, so that's going to be, okay, so now that's a dash, whoops, okay, no, hidden line should have been ISO dash, select that, say okay, and then, there we go, I'm going to change this to a dash line. Text, I'm going to want that to be a solid continuous line. Dimensions probably should be a solid continuous line. Guide, just for the heck of it, just so we'll get to use a different one, I'm going to load, and I'm going to make that one this long dash dot line. Okay, so that we can see a little bit difference. Okay, so the idea is you use different lines for different purposes to indicate different things. All right, so those are our first things. Now, what you're going to remember, and this is the important thing, is when you're making guides, you want to make guides the active layer by clicking that. All right, and so then when you click guides, it'll be on that layer. All right, so that's how we create layers. These are the layers that have to be in your drawing. We will play around with different kinds of lines later. But I think for now, this is a pretty good thing. Actually, guys, it looks like a continuous. I want to make that ISO dash. Okay, so let's go back. All right, so that's basically how you create your layers. Okay, you will be expected to have this in your first assignment.